I'm with manager Mark Clifford after tonight's 2-1 defeat away at Redditch United. Cliff, just your initial assessment on that one, please.
Two penalties, isn't it? Two penalties. One definitely wasn't. One arguably wasn't. Linesman, for some reason, decided to get involved in the game after he told us he can't get involved in the rest of the stuff that's going on in the game, but then decides to give a penalty. Referee wasn't going to give it. He said that. I didn't give it. The linesman give it. Okay.
Anything in particular that disappointed you tonight, that pleased you perhaps?
Do you know what, I was pleased. We changed a few things tonight. A few players came in, and I was really pleased in general with how we looked and certain phases of the game and the way we played, and I didn't think they could get near us at time. So yeah, I was pleased with lots of it.
We've alluded to it before, it's often the second half where we come out swinging. It was pretty much again the same tonight. We scored the equaliser just before half time, and for the first 10-15 minutes we controlled the game after the second half. Is there anything you put that down to in particular?
No, I just think we always want to go in and tweak things, and we've just said, look, the shape's working, just got to be a bit more patient on the ball and get into better areas to receive it and try and get a build of passes, 6, 7, 8 passes, and when we do that we always look threatening and end up in a really good area of the pitch.
I don't think it's a case of creation or lack of, should I say, lack of creation, but is it just about being more clinical when you find themselves in that area and kind of you see a lot of the balls bouncing around? Is it just down to getting that under control and just firing on sight, I guess?
I think so. I think it's delivery, and then I think it's being clinical. So I think we look really good till we get to the final third, and then there's a bit of work to be done.
We spoke off camera. I think KP alluded to you in the dressing room that he's not had the save to make apart from taking 2 times the ball out the back of the net twice. Is that a frustration for you and him, I guess?
It is, yeah. Again, like you say, it's two penalties against a team that are in the playoff positions. I think we've dominated most of the game. They've had spells, and every team's going to, but I think we've dominated the game really. And 2 penalties have killed us. They've had a chance which he probably should have scored, in fairness, but like I say, they hadn't hit the target. KP hadn't had to make a save, so that's disappointing.
Speaking of the penalty, have you spoken to the officials in there at all? Have they said anything?
There's no point, is there? Yeah, I have spoken to them, but they just don't understand. So there's just absolute no point. I'll end up with a fine, another suspension. So there's absolutely no point. Why don't you speak to him? Why don't you go and ask him what he thinks?
I feel like it sometimes. Just the goal before half-time was Seth Patrick's first in United colours. That must be a positive. He took it really well, didn't he?
I think just like when you see the highlights, just the way we played and created the goal and the way he finished it. I think again they couldn't get near us and finished it really well. We just need to do that more often. And I'm pleased with Seth.
And we saw a bit of a sore sight, if you like. Owen, that's hobbling off just before the break. I saw him on crutches leaving the ground. Any latest on him? I imagine it's a bit too early to assess.
A bit too early to assess, but it looks like a medial, so it could be anywhere between 2 to 4 to 6 weeks maybe. So we won't bother with that appeal for Saturday. There's absolutely no point. So we'll see where he is over the next few days. We'll pick the group up because what I've just said to them in there. The run we've just been on in the league, unbeaten for so long, has now come to an end, and we need to pick them up, get them going again in training on Thursday. We've got the FA Trophy and then the league again against Mickle over the 3 days after that. So football comes thick and fast. It's great, but we've got a really good, honest group, and I know we're just going to keep getting stronger.